Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the KatChat Podcast. We are here with Haley from Crown to Heart and Crown Chat. We are going to talk about the last movie, the Loveuary movie, which is called Romance at Hope Ranch. Welcome, Haley. Thank you for coming on to review this movie with me.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I love talking Hallmark and just talking with you in general. Hence, I'm rocking my Cat Chat merch. So there you go.
Definitely. And definitely, we support each other with we support each other with sharing merch and everything. So you can see I'm wearing the Crown Chat merch. It's one of my favorite shirts. So I probably have to get another one, because I live in Hallmark t-shirts or I live in Hallmark sweatshirts. Just like I talked to my Blondie podcast friend, I live in those sweatshirts every weekend. Or every time I come home from work, I go on my Blondie sweatshirt and just cuddle. So, yeah, check out our website over at
Mhm.
Justin Betham for some KatChat merch along with the Crown the Hall chat merch.
There we
Thank
go.
you again, Haley, for coming
Yeah,
on.
absolutely. As I say, it's never looked better. So thank you. So there you go.
Definitely. Hope Romance at Hope Ranch, starring Allison Sweeney and Gabriel Hogan. The whole movie is all about Hope Morgan, who is the mother, and she set out to begin a new chapter of her life, being able to buy and live at a ranch that she actually grew up, going there every summer with her grandparents. And then walk to wander ranch to picture a perfect ranch life with working on a farm, learning stuff, having her own life. But of course, in the movie, were they able to be rekindled love or second chances or third chances of her ex-husband, Jack? So here we're going to review about that movie. Haley, tell me, what was your first impression of the movie? Like, how did you feel when you saw the poster or the review? Or how did the movie start for you? Were you like, I'm hooked? Or were you like, I'm not so sure?
I feel like the movie starts a lot stronger than it finishes, and like really actually right away it hooks me in. I think especially being a mother, you're hooked into the idea of like when your kids are going off to college. I think that's a very real experience. So it starts on that note. She's taking this huge life transition of like moving across, moving her whole life to this ranch and kind of restarting and really taking on a challenge of something that just she wants a fresh start, but also something that really pushes her to be independent. And it's not, it's more of a secluded life, but it's not an easy life. And so I love just kind of the cute country cozy vibes. I like what my dream is like to have my own kind of ranch like that. I want the chicken coop and we want like the bottle calves and all of that. So like that all hooked me in right away. So I thought that was, it has a great start. I can't say the love story always kind of pulled me in. But I think just that idea of, needing that in your life at some point, is very relatable. So that hooked me in and just the beautiful country setting.
Definitely. I mean, my first impression was like she wants to have a new start in life because she had a rock before that in her failed marriage,
Yeah.
and they tried again and it didn't work out. So moved back and start over with a whole new business adventure, like a bed and breakfast around that she had people coming in for the giddy up gala. And what really surprised me and how they ran into each other at the horse feed store. And I could immediately see chemistry or a little bit of a spark, but it was more like a unfinished business vibe.
Yeah.
Like there was still some unresolved feeling, and the ex-husband Jack was trying to prove himself. Oh, I'm gonna buy this store. I'm gonna win her back. Rush, this is gonna happen. And she was like, cut off. I don't want to do anything with Jack. I don't know why you're moving in the same town as me. I'm trying to start over. So I really liked how the movie started. Just like go in and explore the ranch life for me. Ranch movies are almost kind of like a hit or a miss. It just
Mhm.
depends like how strong the storyline and how well it carried over. It was a little bit slow, then it gets better at the end. Oh, it was so dark, great, and at the end it's like, okay. So overall, it was a peaceful, ranchy kind of vibe
Mhm.
for me. I liked the storyline, but there was some aspect of the movie we will talk about it as we move on that I was not like crazy about. I was like, I don't know
Mhm.
about that because of the connection and the banter, and
Yeah.
I have so much to talk about Hope and her character. So good thing and not so good thing. So I was curious about the first impression because I really like the dark color of the movie poster when it first come out, and the previews were not too bad. But then when you actually start the whole movie, like not what you expecting or almost what you expecting or okay, not too bad for Allison and Gabriel for Romantic Hope Ranch.
Yeah. I do feel like the movie, because it's got a great concept, but maybe the execution was a little weak on certain things. So I was like, I feel like it probably parallels what it would really truly be like of starting a ranch or starting a new business. It's going to be a little messy and there's going to be a lot of crap to kind of deal with. So, I think certain things could have been done better than others, but I will say I've become a big fan of Alison Sweeney, and had she not been the lead in this, I don't know if I would have watched it all the way through because, like you said, some of these ranch movies are very hit and miss. But I felt like she was a strong enough lead that I was interested in her character to see what happened.
Definitely, definitely. For the movie, some of the high moments or good moments and some of the low moments. Or there's any moment of the movie that you feel like it should be part of the movie. Why did they include that? Because it could do you or an audience some kind of hit or miss in the movie.
Yeah, I feel like the high for me, like I said, like this is like a dream concept for me, would be like to have this ranch. And so I really loved seeing her immerse herself in the hard work of it. So like trying to, work with the horses every day and like the chickens, like I loved the one that kept escaping. I don't know why I thought that was pretty funny. And I wanted to actually see more of her out kind of, because she talks about, oh, she has all these struggles or she's overwhelmed. And I kind of like, I wanted to see more of that. I felt like we saw more of the gala and the party planning and her trying to like get people invited to that. But I thought they did a really great job of just creating this very scenic but yet solitary sort of environment of what a ranch life is like, but yet having that cozy town where people are willing to throw a potluck together for you at the last minute or are willing to help you out when something breaks. And so I think there is a lot of hunger for that from people these days, of just a very simple, because we have a very oversaturated life and busy life at times. So just kind of that simplicity I thought was really well captured. Um, I will say like a low for me truly was the romance, even though I love seeing Gabriel and Allison together. But in theory, this works of like here they are like at a second or third chance for love, but the way he just sort of intrudes on this refresh of like, oh, by the way, I also bought this store, and he didn't even tell her, like she just shows up. So like it could be taken a little creepy or stalkerish, and I mean, I love a big romantic gesture, don't get me wrong, but just it just seems like a little red flaggish to me, and like you're kind of uncertain about his character and what his motives are. Um, Obviously it works out in the end, spoiler alert, but um, I don't know. So like I wish in some ways I kind of wish like they'd never met before and this was just like, she just fell in love with the store owner, but the fact that he just like shows up and is just like, "Hey, here I am," and she's so like I can understand why she's a little hesitant. So I wish that had been executed a little differently because I would have had more interest in rooting for him. That because I actually kind of wanted her to end up with the neighbor guy over this guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I was like, oh, here's something. You have shock. I'm like, hmm. But the
Yeah.
name of the guy ended up with one of her friends, I believe. So, I
Yep.
like that. But yes, I agree with you with the highs and lows. The highs for me, and I really like to see how people were able to like portray the life of a ranch like what you do at a ranch, because sometimes it's not necessarily a ranch where you go in, you go run the cottage, you wake up every morning, you go to breakfast, and then you take a horseback ride in the trail, because some ranch people are, oh, you get up, you work with that help around the farm, that feed the shit, or do the paint, or milk some cows, the goats, tend the horses, so kind of like a
Yeah.
therapy or life lesson for people in general. So I was looking more into that, not kind of like a bed and breakfast concept. So that was
Yeah.
really a high for me because I like to see animals, I like to see the farm aspect, people working hard because people
Yeah.
have a life and people do work hard on farms, even
Oh yeah.
though they don't pay much or not enough, like teachers, lawyers, authors, just different aspects of a job. And the
Yeah.
other high was how the gala came together after the
Yeah.
mayor's idea was potluck concept after the boom fell through. So those were the two highs. The
Yeah.
loan was Hmm. The chemistry, not the chemistry. I don't want to say the chemistry. I want to say the romance, the relationship between Hope and Jack, because I feel like we're missing the key core of their marriage or failed relationship. Because I feel
Hmm.
that they jump into the movie, oh, my ex-husband or my ex, we were never married. We tried a relationship 1, 2, 3 times. No, well, I'll try again and we know it's not going to work out or ended up the same place and that you parted ways. So I feel like the romance level for those two characters were, I don't feel like it was romance worthy. I feel like it was like two friends trying to repair each other, repair the
Yeah.
relationship or friendship or connection before they want to become something more. Because of course Hope was hard on her stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
Allison is a phenomenal actress in all of the movies she's been in, or I really, really believe she was made for Hannah Swanson mystery serial and some
Yeah.
Hallmark movies. But I feel like this movie was different,
Yeah.
and I had a hard time liking or connecting with the character because I feel like she was so hard on herself. Like I know some people want to be perfect and some people want to be successful and they don't want to ask for help or be like, I don't
Yeah.
need help. I got this. I got this. I got this. I'm going to plan to get a gala. I'm going to run the ranch. I'm going to take care of my
Hmm.
gas. I'm going to clean each room and then
Yeah.
run things so to pile up. She takes it out on herself, takes it out on other people. So I feel like she could do a little bit more work with her character in some way. And as
Hmm.
for Jack, I mean, when they were not together, they broke up or they called it a quit. I made a birthday card to her daughter every year. And we'll be back home
Yeah.
by the door and hoping for another chance. Like you said, a little bit of a red flag. So I'm not sure what Hallmark was thinking about that small piece. But
Yeah.
again, it's a Hallmark movie, doesn't necessarily always happen. So
Yeah.
that was a little bit of that. So that's
Hmm.
my take from all the highs and lows. But it
100%.
was just different for me. I mean, I was like looking at Alex and I was like, it's okay to ask for help. Let him
Yeah.
help you. Just
Yeah.
give him a list and he will leave you alone. Just do something.
Yeah. Yeah, she has no problem like telling her daughter like just ask for help, just ask for help, but then she struggles with that too, which I'm also a person like I struggle with that too, asking for help. So I did connect with that a little bit, but like at this point you're just you get to by the end of the movie you're just like, girl, like you can't run a business and start a ranch and do this and do that. Like at some point like I don't know anybody who has a ranch that doesn't have any staff or help or a bed and breakfast that doesn't have any staff or help, but again, like I
Definitely.
get the gist of it, but it just became like a little much even. Yeah, it became almost unenjoyable to watch in that sense.
Definitely. And I really liked how she had a little bit of a connection relationship with her daughter. Like her daughter was
Mhm.
drunkenly with school. And then she was like, the family, she was able to get them help with the study
Yeah.
group and make
Yep.
everything all happen and worked out. And then was able to come home to help her mom and just go on with the giddy up gala. So I thought that was really cool, and it was, must be really special doing a mom and a daughter piece in a movie because I'm not
Mhm.
sure if Allison ever had her daughter in any of her other movies except for Hope Ranch.
Yeah. I think just this one. Yeah. I think this was the first one. So that was really
Yeah,
cool to see.
it was sweet. So, what was your favorite part of the movie? Did you like a part, or did you like a scene, or where was the moment that you really thought, oh, this is a really good part, this is a really good scene, I really enjoyed?
My favorite part is, and you've said this too, was just seeing the gala at the end and them dancing together because it truly is the payoff of all of her efforts and seeing the community come together for her. Like everybody chips in and has the potlucks. You see her sort of like accepted in the community. You see people enjoying themselves and you see her finally like letting go and like, hey, this is what happens when I allow people in and take another chance at love or just, accept help. And it's just a really beautiful, fun, like, country get down. So I love it. So I just thought that was very beautifully done to like, if the movie's going to end in any way, let's, end it with a bang.
Definitely, I like the Giddy Up Gala where everybody came together. Like, if someone fell down, the community stepped in and throws everything together. So, like the saying, it takes the village to raise the kid. I mean, you have teachers, you have doctors, you have specialists, you have parents,
Yep.
you have grandma, aunts, and uncles. So for this movie, you had the ranch hands, you had the community, you had Jack, his sister, the mayor, all came together to make it a success. And it's really nice if you can't afford it or if you're short on something or limited on something, it's good
Yeah.
to bring the community together. Potluck, bring whatever you want to eat, bring whatever you want to drink. We're here
Yeah.
for a good time, dance and stuff. I really like that part. And I also really enjoy the animals. I mean, I love Ranger and the little
Yeah.
chick Hundi who magically
Hoodie, yeah.
comes out of the coop, tries to cause trouble with the
Yeah.
infection
All the time.
guy.
So funny. Yeah. Yeah. He was my favorite like scene stealer was Houdini, like all the time. Like even during the inspection, he still has to find a way out. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was
what gave me a puzzle. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but during the whole movie, it seemed like Ranger would listen to Hope, but he would listen to Jack. So I'm trying to figure
yeah.
out if there was a history with the ranch or Ranger, because I know the ranch was the ranch was not owned by Hope family before then, or not, or it was just a place they go to every summer. So maybe she knew Ranger there, or he did, but it was just really weird, like how Ranger knows Jack, goes up to Jack, listen to Jack,
Mhm.
had nothing want to do with Hope. So just I kept thinking about that connection throughout
No.
the movie, though, which was really fascinating.
Yeah. If it was, that was unclear to me. But sometimes animals just kind of understand energy.
Yeah.
So maybe it was like telling her to like trust his energy, trust his intentions, like listen to him. So who knows? Maybe he's
I
just
love
better
the
with.
chicken. I love the chicken. Just popping out of nowhere. And I was
Yeah,
afraid there was
that
one
was
part
funny.
when she was ready to pick up the chicken to put it in the coop. I was like, oh no, he's gonna run away from her. Don't run away. Just stay. But he didn't do anything. She picked him up, put him in the
Yeah.
coop. I was like, okay, okay. We don't need any more chicken trouble.
Yeah.
Do you have do you have what kind of message to this whole movie? What was the theme? What was the message that the movie tried to portray to the audience or the viewers?
I feel like it's kind of about it's second chances, or I guess in this case, third chances and new beginnings, and not being afraid of trying something different, not being of like there is no expiration on true love, and if you're truly willing to work at something, whether it's a ranch or a relationship, that anything worth having doesn't come easy. You just have to be willing to be open and honest and ask for help and do the work.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and I feel like it was also a way for challenging the stuff, trying something new, a big project or a big challenge. and then don't give up. Keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
Also, it's okay to ask for help, even though you want to do everything yourself because it's your job, and you brought the ranch. Nobody else brought the ranch.
Yeah.
But again, gotta think about life. I mean, the only way you can be successful is if you own enough to yourself, and if you accept responsibility, and if
Mhm.
you allow help, if help is offered or when you need help.
Yeah.
So you should open up yourself as a person too, because of course, community comes together to make some event or some business successful. It doesn't happen overnight or
Yeah.
just with one person.
Yeah.
And opening yourself into a new aspect of relationship or connection
Yeah.
with love or friendship or anything like that. But after watching the whole movie, I feel like it was not enough romance. I feel like it was just like two friends with so many history and that they had a relationship for a while and it didn't
Yeah.
work out and then they want to try again. I feel like no point to do it. I mean, I feel like there was no romance, feel, connection with the two characters through the movie. I feel like I'm here to help. What do you need me to do?
Yeah. Yeah. There were a lot of holes in that. And I feel like a lot of her more intimate conversations were not had with him. They were with other people. And I feel like they needed to be with each other for me to really buy
Yeah,
into it or become more invested. So yeah, like of all the things, if it's a rom-com, there was a lot less rom. And I don't even know how much comedy is really in it either, because you're, like I said, you kind of struggle watching her. You
right.
struggle watching her struggle, but I needed more of that romance, and I just didn't get that from
You
this
wanted
one.
a rom-com movie to go for because of Cupid or some other movie, but this was more deep, more thoughtful, and more deep thinking with feelings and emotions and how to overcome it. So I felt like, overall, it was a good movie, but
Yeah.
I would have watched it again. Maybe at the background thing because I like the animals, the ranch stuff, but
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, if I
unfortunately
need a
not.
good ranch movie, I think I'd rather watch A Country Wedding or something like a good classic like that. Like this one, if it happens to be on, I'd flip it on, maybe just to watch for the,
So,
I want to see a
back
little more
with Kimberly
Houdini.
Stan and Luca Bryan. That
Yeah,
was,
yeah, yeah.
I
There you
don't
go.
know.
Yeah, I don't think I would seek it out again just to watch it for whatever. But
Behind the frame. What did you? How did you feel the director portray the movie? Like, how did you feel about the vibe, the location, the mood, and the angle of how specific street, specific scene was shot? What did you think of the whole directing and camera angle of the movie?
yeah, and we've kind of touched on this already, but like I thought like the country or the ranch life was actually the best part of the movie. I thought it was just cinematically or cinematographically, if that's a word, very well done. Like you felt like you were actually in this environment. You felt kind of the coziness of that town. So like I felt like that probably was the biggest strength of the movie was where and how it was shot.
Definitely. I really like the location. I like seeing different locations of movies, not just inside a house or store or
Yeah.
diner that we like inside all the time. But I
Mhm.
really like the aspect of it, like the destination movies or
Yeah.
movies that are shot in New York City. You can actually see the subway life or the outside life of New York City. So it's really nice to see like another countryside aspect of a
Mhm.
farm with a ranch, all of that. So I thought it was really beautiful. And I like the tone or the lighting was more dark, like a not a spring or summery vibe, even though February romance, the love, there wasn't so much of that.
Yeah.
I feel like the vibe was very dark, very timid, and I really liked how they shot each angle for the farm life and with the gala. Like with the two step dancing when they were dancing in slow motion and then normal sequence for the dance. So I really enjoyed that very well with the location and the camera shot.
Yeah. I would agree.
Overall, how did you feel about the two characters? Did you feel like they were a good pairing for the movie? Or did you see Alison Sweeney and Gabriel Hogan in a complete different kind of movie?
I love that they did a different movie together. I just honestly wish it wasn't this one. And you kind of covered this before of I didn't love the relationship, and so I kind of felt like we got cheated of a different movie with them. Because while I love them both and individually and together, I just did not like these characters and that dynamic. So unfortunately, I feel like, oh, this was just not the right choice.
Yeah, damn, I was like, because I watched all of the Hannah Swanson mystery movies of theirs. I've seen all of it, and I tried to see Hannah with each of the guys. Like, it was Mike, then it was Norman, and then Chad. And I'm like looking at her connections or her vibe or her chemistry. So with Norman, I think it was cute. But with Mike, I feel like it was like rushed or it was kind of like in the moment or whatever. But now with Chad, I like Chad the most of all because they had literally everything in like they had chemistry, they had banter, they had a connection, they had some kind of a bond where everything was missing. So I was trying to remember Allison and Gabriel from the earlier hand up front. And I mean, I
Yep.
kind of probably would enjoy that
Yep.
better than
Agreed.
I did with Romance and Hope Ranch. I feel like they were trying too hard at themselves with the characters. I feel
Yeah,
like
it
it
was.
was stiff and they were trying too hard. Even though it was a good movie and they tried to portray the character, but I feel like it was lacking something. And I'm like you said, there are a lot of hurt. I mean, we don't know the whole history of Hope and Jack before Hope brought a ranch. And before Jack decided to move back in town because Hope was there and praying for a miracle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, completely agree.
Definitely. All right. Any last thoughts about this movie or in all of the Loveuary movies if you have watched them all?
I feel like it started a lot stronger than it ended. Like I said, I do love the country vibes. It definitely got me in the spring mood, so now I'm like binging all the spring movies, but this one definitely was not my favorite, unfortunately. I would have rather had some more of like Because of Cupid and some of those.
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed because of Cuban and the way to do. That was really sweet too. So, like you said, sometimes they start off strong and then the last movie is like, or it could be the other way around. The first movie is like, okay, hopefully it gets better. And then we have a fantastic last movie of the month. So
Yeah,
we will never know with Hallmark.
yeah. But we have some really exciting ones still to look forward to. So,
Very exciting for the March movies and the April movie for one reason only.
and we get a new Hannah Swenson, so maybe we'll get it all redeemed here,
Oh,
so it's
I
okay.
know, definitely this weekend though. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, Haley, thank you again for coming on to the KatChat Podcast to talk about the review romance at Hope Ranch. So if you have not seen that movie, it's streaming on Hallmark Plus and all of the Loveuary movies too. So tune in and please make sure to subscribe to the KatChat Podcast as well as on Instagram and make sure to follow Crown the Hall Chat on YouTube and Instagram. We have so many interviews, so many Hallmark content, so many merch reels, and other fun stuff. So make sure to tune in and follow us and subscribe us. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you.